Welcome back, everyone, to another edition of The Explainer. Today, we're diving right into a clear, structured breakdown of how cryptocurrency's absolute biggest asset dictates the entire market cycle. If you've ever wondered how one single digital coin pulls the strings of a massive global financial ecosystem and how that actually impacts every other coin out there, well, you're in the right place. Let's just get straight into it.
Okay, let's kick things off with this number, $126,198.07. I mean, it's just absolutely staggering, right? Picture this, buying a completely new digital currency for literally less than $1 and then watching it explode into a six-figure asset. But that's the reality of Bitcoin. This recent all-time high just proves how far the crypto market has come on this monumental journey, from being worth mere pennies to genuinely becoming one of the absolute best performing assets in modern financial history.
So that brings us to the big question, doesn't it? Why does Bitcoin control the market? Because it's not just the biggest cryptocurrency by size, it is the absolute heartbeat of the entire crypto space. When Bitcoin rallies, the rest of the market usually tags right along. But when it takes a hit, billions of dollars can just vanish in a flash. To really understand the secret behind this massive influence, we actually have to go back and trace its origins.
Section 1. The Rise of Digital Gold, Origins and Mechanics. To really wrap our heads around the immense power Bitcoin holds today, we have to rewind to 2008, smack in the middle of the global financial crisis. Banks were collapsing left and right, and public trust, it was pretty much at rock bottom. People were desperately looking for an alternative. And that is exactly when an anonymous person, or maybe a group, we still don't know, named Satoshi Nakamoto dropped the Bitcoin white paper. By January 3rd, 2009, the very first block, the Genesis block, was officially mined. Following the timeline through the 2010s, we watch it push past all that early skepticism, gradually picking up massive institutional adoption, straight through to 2024, where it absolutely shattered that $100,000 ceiling. It's literally a journey born out of a total collapse in banking trust, leading all the way to mainstream adoption. Now, to get why it caught on like wildfire, we have to compare it to traditional fiat money. The original goal of Bitcoin was simple, but incredibly revolutionary. You see, fiat money is centralized. Banks and governments hold all the cards. And crucially, they have an unlimited supply, meaning they can just print more money whenever they feel like it. Bitcoin, on the flip side, completely strips away that central authority. It's totally trustless, letting people send money directly to each other. And here's the kicker. It imposes a hard, unchangeable cap of exactly 21 million coins. That's it. No government can ever just spin up the printers and make more. And because of that hard cap, many investors compare Bitcoin to digital gold. Why? Simply because of its limited supply and its function as a reliable store of value. This specific digital scarcity is exactly what draws in millions of investors from all over the globe. Because the supply is totally fixed, it has genuinely evolved into a recognized safe haven asset whenever there are major shifts or panics in the financial world.
Section 2. Exploring Bitcoin Dominance, the Metric of Power.
So now that we've got the mechanics down, let's look at the actual math behind this control. Bitcoin dominance is, well, exactly what it sounds like. It's a metric that measures Bitcoin's specific share of the total cryptocurrency market value. Traders and investors don't just casually glance at this number, they obsess over it. Why? Because it acts as this massive, flashing indicator telling us exactly where the money is flowing across the broader crypto ecosystem at any given second. Think of it like a giant pie. When you split the entire crypto market into just two slices, Bitcoin on one side and literally every single other altcoin combined on the other, you realize a massive chunk of all the investment money sits exclusively in Bitcoin. Because it holds such a commanding piece of the pie, when Bitcoin goes up, overall investor confidence just surges and new money floods into the space. But, on the flip side, if Bitcoin drops sharply, fear spreads just as fast and billions can disappear as investors panic sell their much more volatile altcoins.
But it's really the dynamic movement of this metric that traders are glued to. Falling dominance often signals money flowing into altcoins. This is a super important cause and effect relationship. A high dominance essentially means Bitcoin is acting like a giant sponge, soaking up all the cash in the market. But a falling dominance, well, historically speaking, that is the ultimate signal that capital is starting to migrate, and a phase that the crypto world calls Altseason is just about to kick off.
Section 3. The Anatomy of Altseason, the Ripple Effect.
Let's actually look at the highly predictable sequence of events that triggers this massive rotation of capital. It almost always plays out in a specific step-by-step order. Step 1, Bitcoin goes on a massive, strong rally. Step 2, it starts to consolidate, kind of catching its breath and stabilizing near those new higher prices. Step 3, because Bitcoin is looking stable, investors feel confident, right? So they start moving their profits over into Ethereum, which causes Ethereum to outperform. And finally, Step 4. That capital cascades all the way down, rotating into the mid-cap and small-cap cryptocurrencies. It's this fascinating sequential waterfall of money.
Let's break down the actual dynamics of how this market rotation works. First off, it completely relies on initial Bitcoin strength. If you don't get that first big Bitcoin rally, the whole sequence just doesn't start. No way. Second, it's driven entirely by stabilizing prices and high overall confidence in the market. And third, and this is absolutely crucial for all you focused learners out there, this specific pattern is critical to watch because historically, this exact rotation is when altcoins have delivered their absolutely largest gains.
Section 4. Altcoins to watch next, where the capital flows.
So, let's take a look at exactly which alternative projects are grabbing the most attention right now. We'll break down 5 key altcoins and the different narratives pushing them forward. First up, we've got Ethereum, which is still the undisputed leader for smart contracts. Next is Solana. It's pulling in a lot of capital right now purely because of its lightning-fast transactions and a really rapidly growing ecosystem. Then there's Near Protocol, which is super interesting because it merges 2 massive narratives, high scalability and AI integration. Fourth is Tongcoin, which has the heavy backing of the giant Telegram ecosystem. And finally, Chiliz. This is a very specific utility token that powers sports fan tokens, and it often sees big movement around major global sporting events. The point is, when capital starts flowing, it flows directly toward these really compelling core narratives.
Now, we need to be absolutely clear about something. The crypto market is highly, highly volatile. While these specific projects have definitely attracted a massive amount of investor interest, their future performance relies completely on ongoing user adoption, the tech actually working, and of course, broader market conditions. So doing your own independent research is absolutely essential here.
At the end of the day, Bitcoin fundamentally changed finance forever. I mean, it introduced the whole world to decentralized money, it basically birthed an entirely new asset class, and it still stands as the absolute foundation of the crypto market today. Grasping its history and understanding its dominance gives us the blueprint for how the rest of the market behaves. But it does leave us with one final, really provocative question. Will Bitcoin continue to lead the market forever, or could another cryptocurrency eventually step up and take its place? It is definitely a fascinating thought to chew on as this market just keeps evolving. Keep learning, keep analyzing the data, and we will catch you in the next explainer.